Alone again on a Saturday night? Well, you don't have to be, because there is a place where you're always welcome. Just outside of LaGrange rests the comfy, cozy confines of the destination for weary, lonely souls just like yourself. It's the Chicken Ranch. Come, let Madam Jessie Williams and her stable of lovely ladies make you feel like the most important John in the whole state. From Swedish and Oriental massage to reverse cowboy and butt stuff, the seasoned staff of the Chicken Ranch are well-trained, road-tested, and hosed off for your pleasure. That's the Chicken Ranch, just off Rocky Creek Road and Highway 71, just behind the actual Chicken Ranch. The Chicken Ranch. Bring your pecker.
Before history was history, fools were we. Then we climbed a tree and finally we could see. Lo, then the internet made us smart, now know everything do we. Thus we share with thee these trifleries, till nobody learns nothing.
Fun fact.
Finally.
As we were talking about the
Blake, you could not look more bored right now.
wait till I say this. I can make him look even more bored.
I'm taking all this in, guys.
So we
How
were
are
talking
they
about
doing
how
a podcast with this? I don't get it.
we had
I
machine
love it.
guns.
Yeah.
Military guys with machine guns. What were their total kills? Y'all were talking about that our first.
On the final tally,
It's 200, right?
the first batch.
The very first batch
Yeah.
was about let's see, where is it?
Don't make up a number. I'll let
I'm
you.
not
find
making
it.
it. I'm finding it. I'm
I mean, I'm going on 200. I'm pretty sure it was 200.
no, that wasn't the first one. The first one was only
Yeah.
like 12.
Yeah, that was the
beaten
first day.
There's
The
day.
first wave lasted a month.
Oh, the
But it
first
was
wave
not-
was about 200 birds. Yeah. The first, well,
Yeah.
the soldiers killed about 200 birds. It was the
three guys.
well,
the three
Had
guys.
no omelets.
the troops.
all
They
those
say
months.
the troops. I don't know how many guys there were. That first day, they only killed about a few dozen.
All right. Well,
24
part of the fun
on day
for
one.
me
24.
was
Which is so
okay.
silly, because if they can make 12 egg
And
omelets from
by the
one
way-
egg, they could have stayed out there for a year.
By the way, Kyle.
breakfast every morning.
By the way, Kyle, you said three guys. My intel says,
I was trying to remember what you got. I thought
As
you
a res-
said there were sent
I'm
three
reading,
guys.
I'm reading. As a result, the soldiers
Now we're learning, you son of a bee.
struggled to effectively reduce the emu population. Only a few dozen were dead the first day, despite thousands of soldiers shooting thousands of emus.
So you lied to us that at the beginning.
No, you're the one who said only three soldiers. You
No, but
dumbass.
I'm trying to recall what
I
John
said three soldiers from an
Oh.
article on
Oh.
the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Well-
What's your source on the thousands of soldiers? Would you read that off?
the internet.
Oh,
You want to put that up
Oh, wow.
against the Encyclopedia Britannica?
I don't. I back down immediately.
yeah.
But if
You do.
thousands were
Well,
shot,
okay.
then that just means that they were resistant to bullets, right?
Yes.
Right,
Or
they're like
or,
superheroes.
or the soldiers were
Friendly,
just shooting all
dumb
over the place, like
superhero.
shooting up in the air.
Like
shooting over,
stormtroopers.
like- yeah, just look at the,
All right, so
we're out shooting emu. Woo, woo. You know, they're like, you're not even pointing at the fucking emu right now. So anyway.
here's a fun fact about the old War of 1932.
Finally.
Brief moment.
it
For
took
a
place
brief
in
moment.
1928.
That is fun.
That's not what he said. Anyway, so the Great Emu War, for a brief time, one of the tactics was to offload them, get them somewhere else. The first appearance of the emu in the United States is in the 1930s. And guess whose offspring in the 1980s became that's when you would go to see an emu at an exotic farm.
Michael Jackson?
Donald Trump?
You go see the
I'm staying with Michael Jackson on this.
Yeah.
okay.
Neverland.
You go see
Ringling Brothers.
Yeah, sort of like that. You've been
Siegfried
to
and Roy.
zoo.
Cirque du Emu.
Well, 10 years later, all of this investment bred at 3 eggs a day, and this time they've got ways to incubate it. And now there's a bazillion emu in the U.S. And what do? Try to convince people to eat it.
Right.
In the 90s. Guess what didn't work? Nobody ate it. It was gross.
We should have just shot
It's
him.
very gamey. It's supposed to be healthy, but very gamey. But
I imagine it's kind of like bison, right? Like buffalo.
Didn't you
buffalo
eat
meat?
some? Or did you never get to sample
Never. It
Grandpa's
was always
supply?
frozen.
So I've
Okay.
I've had
It was time to
emu.
go home.
I've had emu.
Please.
I've had emu jerky. A friend of mine got on the emu bus. I mean, he was like, "Oh yeah, we're investing in this, and we've got here. Check this out. This is an emu egg." And he would show us, "Oh, how cool is that?" You're like a second grader
did he
having show and tell.
$4,000 on it?
Really
It was one of the $200 eggs.
Oh, right. He was like, "Oh yeah, and you can make cowboy boots and belts and blah 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 blah."
Yeah, leather.
He was
oil.
way into it, man. It was like, okay,
Well, I know
but I
ostrich
think this
boots are a big
was
deal.
about in the 90s when I think Kyle's in your timeline when you're talking about this was like a big emu push.
How was the jerky?
The jerky was delicious. It was very good.
Okay. What did it most resemble based on jerkies you'd had
Did it
before?
remind you of another meat?
Yeah, it was very close to beef jerky. It was very close.
Whenever I was looking up recipes, like how would you cook emu? They're going to push this as, and it was mostly like, oh, you make a steak, a kebab, grind it up for a chili. It was all very beef-like dishes.
Beef substitute.
Which is weird because it's
Not
a bird.
a white
You would think
meat.
it's not like a chicken.
Yeah,
or a
you don't
turkey.
treat it like poultry when cooking or eating is what I found.
Similar to the sandhill crane, which is known as the ribeye of the sky, the thigh meat from a sandhill crane resembles beef and is prepared like beef. As
That's
in
right.
ribeye of the sky.
As in ribeye steak. As in yeah.
Beef steak, yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Oh,
those
what did-
large
what did-
flightless birds.
What did their eggs go for? I wonder.
A sandhill crane? That's a great question. I guess they're more difficult to farm because they can fly.
Right.
You have to build
I
build
found
a
out
big
one of
old-
And the males of like the girl goes, "Hey, you sit on that egg." He's like, "Uh-huh." Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
fly away.
down
the
South America.
non-flying part of it, I found was a lot of the classification on that southern hemisphere as one of there were large flightless birds, and only one other distinction was their chest, their breastplate doesn't have a keel. So basically, like the bottom of a boat has that ridge, and all other birds, all flying birds, have a bump or a ridge along that breastplate, and so it's flat on the bottom of these ratites. So, and what's weird, it's Latin. Is
Ratite?
Flat?
Ratite comes
Flat
from
is Latin?
raft. It's basically raft, which is a flat bottom.
Oh,
boat.
I thought it meant little rat. That's interesting.
That's what I thought. Why is there not rat, or maybe it's vermin? Sort of thing is kind of where I was looking in my
Maybe
mind. But
flat rat
but
is
raft was Latin.
Flat rat, yeah.
flat.
I was not
flat
looking
rat.
for a rat bird
Yeah.
or a boat
That's a
bird
pigeon.
or any of that. But that was a surprise.
Interesting.
Wow.
Is it though?
Wow. No, not really.
Well, now I just want emu jerky.
Yeah.
Right. I do want to try emu jerky.
Yeah. Where can you get some emu jerky, John Sweet?
I want.
You can
Well,
order
I
that
don't know. I
online
don't know
for
where.
about
I don't know. I don't
20
even know if you
bucks.
could get. I don't know if you can even get emu meat anymore. I don't know. I mean, do they still?
Come on.
Yes,
now.
it's still active in Texas. In fact, Texas still has the most emu outside of Australia, then California, then Florida.
Fantastic. Does anyone know the nearest emu farm to Houston, Texas? Like, can we go? Can we go? Would that be a hard thing to do?
Yeah, no.
Blake's on his way. He just left.
Mm-hmm. We're going now.
Anywhere but here.
Nothing in Texas. I don't see.
Yeah, though whenever I was looking online to order some in case we were going to all do this together, I wanted to have some emu jerky for us to eat. It wasn't that much, but it didn't cost all that much, but it was not coming from Texas.
Gross.
Stuff I found was going to be sent from Australia.
Oh, now here's something in Tennessee. The Amarillo.
Well, that's not Texas at all.
Amarillo Hills Farm can give you, all kinds of stuff. Emu ground with duck fat, emu leg bones, emu fan fillet, emu pastrami, emu full rump, emu round steak, flat fillet, drum steak. See, now they're coming up with steak names that I've never heard of.
Yeah, it's
emu
lots
neck.
of beef.
Emu necks. You want some
stuff.
emu neck?
Yeah. Oh, that is like one of the more, I don't know,
delicacies.
It's not a luxury, I guess, but it is kind of its own
trash
thing.
meat.
And hey guys,
no.
My emu pizza just got here. I'm gonna go grab that.
Hope it doesn't. Is it neck or feet?
Oh, it's belly meat.
Oh,
okay, emu belly.
Yeah.
That's the best belly in the world.
That's what the flavor is. But yeah, emu neck was its own recipe here, and yeah, you just kind of head to shoulders, you bake it. You take off the feathers and bake it with spices. More like almost like a tenderloin is what it looked like.
Wow, that's crazy talk.
I have found a emu farm in DFW area called the Dunham Farm.
Nothing down in the Port Arthur area.
Unfortunately, the climate's just not right here. Not enough like Western Australia.
No,
I get it. I understand.
That's weird. Dallas isn't like that. I would think West Texas would be.
Out in the West Texas town, I'm in love with a emu named Sheila.
So, as far as the 90s craze of trying to make emu a thing here in the United States, and it being Texas kind of being the hub of where it was going to happen, it's now at 13,000 head of emu, which over the last decade is down to 70%. So that's
wow.
Significant.
Wow.
So what, it was 20,000 before. And to give you a little comparison, just for
that's like
cattle, what's beef like? There are 29 million head of cattle in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
Emu's
not really competing.
Yeah. The next red meat didn't quite happen.
No.
I guess for whatever reason, the cow eggs must be worth a lot more now, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that must be why they're.
That's why you see when you're driving down through the country, you see so many cows sitting down. They're sitting on cow.
They're trying. They're trying to reel hard.
They're sitting on $16,000 cow eggs. Now it makes sense. Now it's coming together.
And I'm gonna be willing to bet you, because the cow's bigger, there's probably more eggs than one. They probably have numerous eggs down there.
Yeah, and each one
they're laid out.
Yeah.
They probably got 4 or 5 eggs, man.
Yeah, and each one worth 24 chicken eggs.
So,
Probably.
John, I think
Imagine the
those are
omelet.
I think that's called a cow flop, John.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. So,
Another.
go
So
ahead.
we were talking. You were talking about what was killing the emu during the war and whatnot. The current largest threats to the emu are staggering, shocking, guys. One, habitat loss.
Let me sit down. Okay,
what is
go
it?
ahead.
What is it?
Number one, which spoiler alert, is still habitat loss.
You mean even after the Australian government order to leave them alone?
Right. Yeah. We're still building homes and gas stations and whatnot.
And not
Number
leaving our wheat
two-
fields open to trampling and feeding?
Yeah. And not building our fences
What's number
out
two?
of balsa wood.
John's ready for number two. Go
I'm
ahead.
ready for number two. I'm just waiting. I'm dreading something's going to be said. I just don't want to hear it. But go ahead.
It's not dingo, is it?
I was
It
going to
is
say,
not
please
dingo.
don't say bunny rabbit. I don't.
It is not bunny rabbits either, nor dingoes. That was John's bullshit from earlier.
Ouch. Go ahead.
Number two, motor vehicles. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
You know how many emus drive drunk? It's staggering. They're killed in senseless driving.
Told you they weren't smart. Man.
You know why? They don't have arms. So there's no steering. They get behind the wheel. They put that big 3-toed claw on the gas pedal.
Right.
They're
Ostriches
just
only have two.
right down the road, and there's no stopping.
Ostrich 2 toes.
Ostrich is
Yeah.
2.
Toes.
Emu's 3.
Yeah.
It's 1 toe better.
That's a continent difference right there.
That is 1 toe better. I wonder why is there no Indian emu kind of bird? Aren't they in that subcontinent, or is that north?
It's kind of
Is that more north?
North of the equator, yeah.
They're north of the equator. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't
And
have my
then
globe.
any guesses on number 3 as the biggest threat after habitat loss and motor vehicles? What else is killing
I've got it.
Yeah.
the emu?
2 rogue machine guns.
Historically,
World War I machine
probably
guns,
yes.
Yeah.
Historically, probably yes, but we're talking current times.
I am too. I'm just thinking the machine
And
guns went rogue.
you're way not wrong, because the answer is intentional slaughter.
Intentional slaughter.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's what a
culling
great term.
or farming.
That's a great
are
term.
The biggest threat. Yeah. That's what of least concern. Is that what you said earlier?
Mail it, emu, get the gun.
It does beg the question, what does unintentional slaughter look like?
I think that's motor vehicles is unintentional slaughter.
Well,
It's like hitting deer.
Oh,
or
I guess you
something.
could try to hit them.
Well, you could.
I'm just saying, when you think of a slaughter, you think of
right.
more than one fatality.
I think like cattle, you slaughter like that kind of slaughter is what I gleaned from.
That's intentional slaughter, but there's a lineup through the
I'm going with
slaughterhouse.
Jay. I got to go with
Yeah.
Jay on this because unintentional slaughter sounds like you went in there and slaughtered a bunch of, like, you drove your car, which is what
That's what I said. Motor vehicles, number
What
2.
the major should have done instead of the machine guns, just drive your Jeep through the herd of emu. You're gonna take out 20 of them right there.
So number 2, motor vehicles, is unintentional slaughter, and number 3 is intentional slaughter.
Yeah. But maybe they didn't do their research to know which people ran them over on purpose.
Right? How could you know?
And what if you had a machine gun mounted in your car?
Fair. I'm not
Unintentionally,
arguing any of
an unintentionally mounted
unintentionally.
machine gun
I
happens
unintentionally
all
pulled
the
trigger.
time.
I know.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I might have
Made a bunch of
Should've.
stuff up.
should have mentioned this earlier about the pronunciation of the animal we're talking about.
Emu.
Yeah.
Is it ama?
Well,
Ama?
that's the. Well, you do you even know how close you just were to a thing? Different thing, not what I was talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about, so no.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, let's.
Is it pronounced mommy? Because I think it's probably pronounced mommy, right?
I'm sure you've heard of it called an emu.
Yeah.
With a emu instead of the emu, but emu.
Yes.
And that's how the Australian folks say it, is with that little Y.
But how do the emu say it?
The emus do not say it, but one of the fun parts of this whole, it was never called emu or emu until the gringos got involved, because, of course,
the Aborigines called it something.
Oh, but they called it many things, because much like the Native Americans, we know
dumb birds,
multiple tribes and multiple factions and stuff, and they all had different
stupid
names.
Flightless birds.
We'll get there. We'll get there, John Swayze. So some of the native words were, and I don't know if I'm saying these right, but Baramal, Miore, Courn, Courn. How would you say that?
Just like you did.
Okay. Murawong. I like that.
I could see how it got
Irabayan. Right. None of that translates. And so what it turns into is a Latin-based Portuguese word of ema, which just means big bird.
They just gave up. They gave up like, fuck it. Fuck it. Call it Big Bird. So is Big Bird on Sesame Street then an emu?
No, it's not. It's a giant canary.
What
what is the stupid flightless bird?
What is the Portuguese influence on Australia again?
Southern Hemisphere, baby.
Oh, one more time. We've got Portugal up in the Northern Hemisphere.
They swung around the Cape. They swung around the Horn, dude.
Okay. Sorry. Brazil.
They went to Brazil. Brazil went over there.
Southern
Brazil,
Hemisphere.
the ray, which you talked about earlier, is a South American flightless bird.
Yeah.
Which countries does the ray show up in South America? Is Brazil a big one, I guess?
Oh, I don't know.
Brazil, which speaks Portuguese and might know the Portuguese word for big bird.
Listener, what you're very excited to know is this is how we come full circle to find out how the Portuguese are involved with the emu, and how we get back to the ray, which we've touched on the kiwi, we've touched on the
The ray is.
Well, we've not talked about the ray. So I mean,
the ray is kind of like a tiny ostrich that speaks Portuguese.
Right. Of course. How big is?
Did that answer your question?
It's
John?
smaller than the emu. I think it's in. Well, the ray is in between the emu and the kiwi, size-wise.
Okay. Well, that's all right. That's kind of a vague size. I mean, I don't
know.
The kiwis are pretty small, dude. They're all
kiwis are like 6 inches,
a
right?
football,
like chicken size, turkey size.
Are
maybe?
they chicken size?
They're pretty small.
Yeah,
they may be slightly larger than a chicken.
Okay, well that's all right. So a foot, maybe.
You could kick the shit out of one. Like you could really nail it.
Yeah, not that you would, but
no, don't do that. Don't. No, kids at home.
Well, that's against the law. I don't think you can kick. I think they're protected against being kicked.
Yeah. So you're wrong, Kyle. You can't.
That's why there are millions of people.
Okay, you should not. I think it's
as dictated by law. Yeah.
The Great Kiwi Law of 1932. I don't know if y'all are aware of that. That was instituted by Major Attaway. Major Paltrow.
Originally, you may not know this, Australian rules football was played with kiwi birds.
They just kicked the shit out of them.
Yeah. They would kick them down the field. They'd never seen such such yardage as when they would kick a kiwi down the field. And then eventually it was outlawed in the law that John stated earlier.
Whoo boy, I think it's time for a break. We'll be right back, folks.
Our sponsor this week is Trinicom Communications. When it comes to your business, you're the expert, and you need to stay focused on the things that you do best, and that's, well, running your business. And to do that, communication is key. You don't need network hiccups and access issues slowing you down. You need a data partner who gets you on track and keeps you on track. For 30 years, Trinicom's VoIP and data solutions have provided a full breadth of business communication essentials. Start with reliability and flexibility with Trinicom's cloud-based voice services. Eliminate the pitfalls of maintaining your own telephone system with Trinicom's hosted PBX. Enjoy the stability of business internet connectivity with Trinicom's state-of-the-art fiber internet access. Also, you can work with confidence, knowing you are backed by the security of the Trinicom cloud and server co-location, featuring multiple power backup systems, redundant cooling, and multiple Tier 1 bandwidth providers. And since Trinicom owns its own data center and telecom switch, they can provide service and solutions directly and quickly. On top of that, Trinicom's fully managed IT support staff is there to quickly tackle anything that may come your way. In fact, Trinicom can even design your website. So keep your business churning and your success growing. Let Trinicom handle the rest. To learn more, visit Trinicom.com. That's TRINICOM.com.
We now return to your regularly scheduled buffoonery.
The emu, still not being an emu yet, but the animal itself was first just kind of introduced to the world within a book, or the rest of the world. Aborigines obviously knew it. There
were emus before the book.
They weren't called emus.
Well, okay. Then the bird.
The animal existed by a different name.
They were called Barimal and Murray and Corn and Murawang and all that stuff. And then some Holland guy gets there first, or at least introduces the world within some story called, what is it? A Voyage to Botany Bay.
Oh, yes, that's a very popular, Voyage to Botany Bay.
By Arthur Phillips.
Yes.
And Arthur Phillips called it, Jay Hickman, are you ready?
I am.
That's what he called it.
Wait. I'm sorry. Hold on.
They called it the New Holland Cassowary.
They called the emu the New Holland Cassowary?
Yeah, that's the first mention of it in the 1600s. So that means the cassowary was already a thing before.
Yeah, so how does a fellow from Western Europe know about a cassowary?
Yeah,
and then which is native to Australia, where the emu is native. So they know about the cassowary, but they don't know about the emu. And so when they meet the emu for the first time, they're like, I know what to name it. Let's name it after our country in Europe. Based on the bird we know.
I thought the cassowary was in South America.
Right.
That's the ray, buddy.
That's the ray.
Yeah.
That's the
cassowaries are close cousins to emus.
We should start this podcast over then.
Let's do it again.
Guinea.
Yeah, let's just start it over.
Was where the cassowary was. First.
Okay. Now New Guinea, that makes sense.
Right there.
That makes but I think if you're
so the cassowary had already been named in New Guinea, and then he's like going, that's the New Holland version of that.
I think probably New Guinea was inhabited before people went to Australia. I think explorers
definitely before
explorers found New Guinea before they found Australia.
Maybe Arthur Phillips was just a poor historian, but nonetheless,
possible.
Well, because a lot of the explorers all came from Europe, right? So the early explorers, so they're all sailing west for the most part, right? Aren't they? I mean, they're going out of England, let's
all
go
the
west.
Good ones are,
yeah, right. I guess somebody went around Africa and all that, but it just seems like, I'm just saying, I wonder if they came west and they went around
as
South
though
America.
It were a continent or something.
And then they would come upon New Guinea before they came upon Australia.
Well,
And they saw that bird.
Point
first.
is,
Yeah,
in the
what's the point?
1600s, they already knew the word
Can we get to
cassowary.
the point?
Cassowary was around before emu as a word, not necessarily as a species.
Oh, I see.
Ooh, so cassowary might just refer to a very disagreeable short man.
Right.
Sorry, John Swayze.
Oh yeah, no offense intended, John.
No, and
I'm sorry.
no offense taken. I don't even know what you're apologizing for.
I think we just called you a cassowary.
No,
So-
that's fine. That's fine. I'm just trying. I'm spitballing here, just trying to throw
It's
out
the
ideas.
tonenail on your head, I think, is what's doing it.
Right. The big
Happens
blue toenail.
all the time.
Yeah.
Does everyone have a good grasp on their Oceania geography? Oceania being the area of the globe that contains Australia, New Zealand, and Tasmania, and Indonesia.
You better
Somewhat,
believe it.
yeah.
You better believe it.
Butter. New Guinea. Do you know where New Guinea is?
I do know where New Guinea is.
Tell me everything.
It's over. Tell me everything. It's over there near in the Pacific Ocean. And it's near.
He just
Australia.
named an ocean, Jay.
He
He just named an entire ocean.
I thought as I just click onto my map.
So it's not in the Pacific Ocean. It's in the Indian Ocean, and it is just
yeah. You're gonna get
of
fucking
Australia.
Wow, you're gonna go there.
New Zealand is the one southeast.
Yeah, so New Guinea is like 50 miles north of Australia.
Yeah.
So just the idea that the cassowary had been spotted in New Guinea and the guy from Holland knew all about it because of New Guinea, which is like a neighboring country of Australia, be like, oh, yeah, I know all about that bird from New Guinea. I've never heard of any other land masses near there.
I'm not saying
So,
Okay, I get it.
Wait,
so okay, I'm a dumbass.
You just
I don't
hadn't
know.
seen
I don't get
bird
it.
yet.
I get it. I am it.
They
And
just-
I will,
Thank you.
No, they just hadn't seen
Thank
the
you.
bird yet.
Kyle,
Could we
do
just
not interrupt John while he's admitting he's a dumbass. Let him talk.
let him have
John
his
has
moments.
something important to say. Yeah.
I made a huge mistake in geographic terms. I thought that maybe I was thinking of Tahiti. I'm sorry.
Listen, this happens all the time. You're
And
not alone, John.
Captain Bligh and the Bounty. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that maybe they went to a certain other island and then, yeah. But maybe they came around the other way. Maybe they did come around.
Either way, they were wrong.
Maybe I was wrong that
emu.
Well, thank you.
That's true.
That clears it up all right there. That just solves it. You're right.
Arthur Phillips didn't know shit. We know this.
Bingo. God, I don't feel as stupid. I don't feel stupid like an emu. I can tell you that.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, not I don't know if you guys got this far or even noticed this within the last handful of years. But there is a famous, emu famous, emu. There's a social celebrity emu.
Yes. I think I allude to this.
Emmanuel
Oh,
is his name.
John Swayze did not allure to this.
Okay. Well, if you Google or YouTube Emmanuel or Don't Do It Emmanuel, you will find a plethora of wonderful videos of this delightful farm girl, Taylor Blake, at Knuckle Bump Farms. Just kind of talking about farm life.
That just sounds wrong.
Yeah, stop there.
Don't
Welcome
get
to
gross.
Knuckle Bump. No,
I don't
that
care.
sounds
We're
like
gonna fist
that
bump.
sounds like we're going knuckle deep.
Oh my God!
That's what it
Trying
sounds
to
like.
tell a sweet, wholesome.
You brought it up,
family
Kyle. You brought it up, buddy.
You open the door. You open the door, buddy.
What do they grow
okay.
in Knuckle Bump
Okay,
Farms,
maybe
by the way?
Taylor Blake named it Knuckle Bump
What
Farms.
do they
and started
grow in
and
Knuckle Bump
derailed
Farms?
this.
What do
Yeah.
they do there?
$4,000 eggs, I guess. I
Hey,
don't
you
know.
sit on this egg. You sit on this egg, motherfucker.
Or I'm going Knuckle Bump.
Emmanuel will not lay eggs because Emmanuel is a dude.
Well, I don't care.
This is-
but the
this is
dude could sit on the egg.
biology.
He could sit on the egg.
I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm sorry. I got to pause. You just referenced the most famous emu in popular culture. Like, is that how you introduced this?
Most famous emu maybe ever.
No, I don't know.
Emmanuel from
I don't know
Knuckle
about
Bump
that.
Farms.
I don't. I have
Name
fake issues.
name the more popular emu, John Swayze.
Limu.
Emu.
Limu emu.
Limu emu. The
Who's
insurance
Limu?
emu. The insurance
He's the
emu.
mascot. He's the mascot of Liberty Insurance.
You're going corporate America over Emmanuel.
You asked for the more
That's for the
famous
most popular.
emu.
The most popular. If
didn't
we went to the public, if we went and did a press
Yes.
conference tomorrow,
Man on
we
the
said,
street.
who is the most popular emu in the world? They would say
Yeah.
Limu emu.
Give me a name. The
No,
name
you're
of the
probably
most
right.
popular emu.
You're probably right.
Okay,
But
I'm glad.
let me switch to most beloved.
Well, I'm going to still go with Limu emu because I don't think
No.
anybody else. I don't know
All
if
he does
anybody
stand there.
knows. I
First
don't know if
off,
anybody
you could-
knows.
He helps people
Eduardo.
save on their car insurance, Kyle. He saves people
he
money.
does.
Like, is there anything more beloved than that?
Guess what they
people
haven't done
save
those
money.
commercials with? An ostrich, because ostriches are assholes and emus are nice and friendly.
Right? A good pivot, but
But
Yeah.
emus
So
are also
Emmanuel-
stupid.
it's Limu emu.
Emmanuel just wants to be a part of things. Have you ever seen any video on the internet with an emu making a photo bomb? It's probably Emmanuel.
Okay. Well, that could be. That could be. I'm just saying right now, in the given moment.
Are we you've never seen an emu photo bomb photo on the internet?
Let's move on.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
Like,
have
have you ever seen a kiwi photobomb on the internet? Or how about a
No.
penguin photobomb on the internet? Like, what's the point?
Yes.
I don't get it.
That's his thing.
What if all the
He's got this
flightless
beautiful
birds-
little face.
What if all the-
Emmanuel likes. Okay, I'm sorry, John.
What
please.
if all the flightless birds got together?
Okay.
We've got
Did Cannonball Run 3?
we've got the emu, we've got the ostrich,
Yeah.
we've got the kiwi, the
Cassowary and the
Cassowary.
rabbit.
we got the penguin.
Yep. The dodo, of course.
Penguin,
I thought the
not
dodo's
a
extinct.
ratite.
Well, that's what most zoologists think.
Yeah, that was one thing I found
point.
when I was looking up the ratites, that the majority of ratites are extinct.
So they would have you believe.
Like we only have the last.
As they would have you believe.
that's what Area 51's all about.
Yeah, that's true. Birds without a keel bone as their
God,
sternum.
There's
That's the
20,000.
key.
There's 20,000 emu under the ground in Arizona,
Oh, please don't say that.
waiting to come out and wreak havoc with the bunny rabbits.
So there are, I believe, fully alive today, 21 flightless birds.
Really?
Rather, I'm sorry. 21 known to history and present day, including the
Oh.
dodo. So the
Oh.
dodo is on this list. There's such a thing as a flightless cormorant.
What does a cormorant? What would we know that as?
We know a cormorant is they're a water bird. They're waterfowl. They look like a duck with a longer beak.
Oh yeah,
You've seen a cormorant before. You've seen
Coots.
one.
Don't we call them coots around here? Or is that?
Yeah, let's say yes. But anyway, there's a lot of penguin type birds.
say
so
yes.
There's a group of flightless birds in the ratite group, which is the most flightless birds on the planet. And then there's the penguin type. So there's puffins. You've probably heard of puffins.
Yeah.
They're super
They
cute.
have a
The
keel
puffins.
on their.
You bet they do, but and that's what's so curious, right? They're flightless. There's a bird called the
They
great.
swim. They still need a keel when you swim, Jay Hickman.
Yes.
Do
There are
penguins-
multiple.
Do penguins and puffins have a keel?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Good to
Kyle.
know. Good to
That's
know.
the differentiation.
Carry on.
Otherwise,
Jay.
flightless birds are without a keel are ratites. Flightless birds with a keel or something else.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay, so there's different types of flightless birds now.
Yes.
Oh, all of a sudden.
Not now.
Oh, new it.
Well.
Entered into the
They're
record. Okay.
differentiating themselves. I see. Okay. We have to be different. Uh-huh.
So
That's the
I'll
whole
wrap this
problem
up.
with the whole Avery situation.
I'm
I
not
don't want to be different.
Avery. I'm not gonna list all
What
the
is-
21 species, but there's a small handful that are extinct. Most of them are still alive. Lots of them are penguiny. Lots of them are ratite, and almost all of them, I think, if not everyone, is Southern Hemisphere.
Mm.
So
Yeah. Which is
Wow.
curious.
That's very
To me.
curious. Yeah.
Well, I did find the name of that continent or plate, I guess, tectonic plate on Pangaea and
Brit.
Gondwana, the Gondwana plate.
Come on, man. That's too good.
Dude, you're making
That
that
seems
shit
too
up.
good.
You're making that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I
Like-
think still in the volcano world still exists.
I'll
bird
shout
that
out
lives in
Kyle.
The bird.
I'll
lives
shout
in a
out Kyle
volcano?
Jones, who is one of the most creative people I know. Like, here he goes again. Like, wow, you
Yeah.
did it again, son.
I'm
I
writing this
will.
new book called The Lord of the Rings, and it's based on the Gondwana plate.
I can't wait. Like, you had me at. I'm writing this book. I will tell you one quick. I'll end my list of 21 flightless birds, both alive and extinct. One of the most interesting ones is called the Fuegian steamer duck. It's
Whoa.
a flightless duck, native
Whoa.
to South America, alive
Fuegian.
today. Inhabits the coast of Chile. And that's it. It's a flightless duck from Chile.
Flightless duck. That is
Yeah.
very hard to shoot.
Or very
Maybe
easy.
not if
you're
it's
duck hunting.
swimming. If it's swimming in a barrel, probably. Pretty,
Well-
If you're a good hunter.
Well, no, because you don't shoot ducks that don't fly. That's just a
who's
duck.
who's
That's a
said?
duck hunter's rule. You don't shoot a duck if it's not in flight. You don't.
I'm
shoot
looking. Hold on, I'm looking up duck hunter's rule. One second.
duck hunters
well, you look-
etiquette. Look it up, man.
Duck hunter's etiquette.
Yeah, you just don't shoot a duck that didn't fly.
You
What
don't
I-
bang
Okay.
another duck hunter.
Guys, what I'm very concerned about is that I opened this bottle and that's how much Jameson
Oh, no.
I have left.
that
It-
that
it
is a
say
cons-
I can't even say the word left.
that
I
is
said lesk. That's how much I got lesk.
that is a concern.
That is a huge concern. It's a huge concern.
Once
Oh,
Jay,
my God.
What's
finds-
really a concern is actually how sober I feel.
that is a concern. I have something I would like to close us out with, but Jay is
No, you should go ahead.
he's on
I
a
turned,
duck hunt.
I turned the top result for duck hunters etiquette was an article from the South Florida Sentinel, 1995. Article titled "Duck Hunters Etiquette: Can't we all get along?"
Oh,
and it's now firewalled or paywalled. I cannot read it. So,
but can't we all
Understood.
get along? I mean, and really that kind of, Kyle, I know you say you want to close it up, and I just that, with the Great Emu War, I think that does beg the question: can't we all get along? I mean,
it's perfect. It's perfect full circle. Thank you,
yeah,
South Florida Sun Sentinel, for making it clear finally.
I know. I mean, I don't know why it took this long to get there, but by golly, we got there.
I've been preaching it all along, John Swayze, that the emu
is stupid,
is our friend.
But
the emu
okay.
is just a curious social animal that just wants love and affection. In fact, many people have pets that are emu. You can't obviously do that in some Manhattan apartment, but people with land who have had emu usually keep one as a friend and a pet. And that TikToker or what have you, YouTuber from before that I was mentioning, she was that, and you got to see that. And in fact, when it comes to the Great Emu War of 1932, when machine guns were used, and they got, a dozen, I think you said, something like that?
Yeah.
During the late 90s, after they realized that the emu craze wasn't going to happen, and all these people spent all this money, and now they're breeding like crazy, and there's 1 million emus all over the Texas frontier or filling up people's ranches. This fella got arrested, or the cops were called on him. I don't think he got arrested. Because in like an hour, he had just walked up to his emu and hit him over the head with an aluminum bat and killed more emu in an hour than the Australian military had pulled off in a fully funded federal operation. Yeah, he just walked up to him. And bopped them in the head with baseball bats because they're just dumb.
It does go to show you how.
I didn't mean to make it sad. I thought
no. It's a good point, Kyle, because it does go to show you
a great point.
It does go to show you that emu are really stupid. However, there's also a little known story of the man in West Texas, near Big Spring, where there was an emu farm. He went out, and God bless him, he sat on 32 emu eggs and brought them all to full on birth. I mean, he sat on them for gestation, and he did for, I believe it was 296 days. It was something really unfathomable. It's unparalleled for sure. But he did it, and by golly, that's why we have a population in Texas right now, is because of that one man who, by the way, nobody knows his name. He went uncredited,
but he's a billionaire. Like that, those egg, like.
Well, he's not. He just sat on the eggs.
Those are valuable young.
The egg farmer, the emu farmers made the money, but he sat on the eggs and he walked away. Very well could have been a migrant. I don't know. Could have been an illegal alien. Who knows? Who knows? He just sat on the eggs. He sat on the eggs without any need, any want of compensation or notoriety. He just said, no, I'm not going to let these eggs go to waste. I'm going to sit on them. I'm going to bring them to fruition. And he did. And that's why we have so many emu in Texas right now.
Yeah, just an intuition to do the right thing.
Yeah.
In summation,
and for the record, he was a little rotund, so he was able to incubate multiple eggs.
It was actually easy for him to sit. It was Greg Abbott, and he was able to sit on all the eggs. Boom. Okay, that was wrong. I shouldn't have
You
said
just you just mentioned the man had no name. In summation, I think the Great Emu War should henceforth be known as the Pretty Good Emu War. Gentlemen, what an amazing episode we've had. John, thank you for leading the fray. Big thanks to our very special guest, Blake Shepard. He is enjoying some emu pizza in another room. I will not disturb him. He's
It's a lean meat, considered
lean pizza.
very nutritious.
It's a lean pizza. But yeah, we did it again. We did it again, fellas.
Once again,
we did it again.
I don't know how we did it, but we did it.
Yeah.
All right.
We pulled it
Until
off
next time, we'll see you then.
I love
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Well, we did it. We finally hit bottom. I knew we could. Thanks, everybody. If you'd like to learn more about this finely distilled product, visit bottomofthebarrelpodcast.com, where you can find our previous episodes, merch, and even some Patreon options. If you want to tell us how smart we are, or how stupid we are, or if you have a topic you want us to dive into, hit us up on our socials. Bottom of the Barrel Podcast is on Instagram, X, and YouTube. Research, writing, and hosting duties for Bottom of the Barrel are taken up by John Swayze, Kyle Jones, and Jay Hickman. Our producer and sound engineer is Dave Lasco. Our business and digital manager is Olivia Swayze. And our composer-arranger is Jonathan Benjamin. We also offer our sincere appreciation to our collaborators, without whom we'd merely be floating somewhere around the middle of the barrel. Big thanks to Afshar Karat, Keegan Dalio, and Patrick Marrero. Finally, we'd once again like to thank our sponsor, Trinicom, which you can find at trinicom.com. That's TRINICOM.com. We'll see you next time at the bottom of the barrel.